Hello and welcome to the Portent Kast. I am Lila, your dungeon keeper and host. The Portent Kast is a queer, female, non-binary actual play show where we're playing TTRPGs of all sorts, and you're tuning into episode 21 of Below the Grove and our Valentine's Day special. And without further ado, let's introduce our players.
Hello, I am Ezra and I play Valencia.
Hello, I'm Raven and I play Erebus.
Hello there, I am Kristen and I play Lorelai.
Hello, I'm Helen and I play Kieran.
Hello, I'm CD and I play Otto.
Hey everyone, it's Star, speaking with the help of Helen. Say hi, Helen. Hi. Unfortunately, I'm recovering from having my wisdom teeth removed and I'm not available, so you'll have to see the awesome Valentine's sketch I had sometime in the future. For now, here on TPK, I'd like to talk about someone I love very much, my grandma. On the day of my surgery, when I awoke in a hazy fog, she was hovering over me saying, "I did your dishes. How are you feeling?" That same day, when she returned with my meds, she brought me a chocolate bar and some tacos from Taco Bell, with the reasoning that it still counted as soft food because there are no nuts, and they're soft tacos. They're still in my fridge. While I was still on the drugs they gave me, I cried over how much the friends I've made in TPK mean to me, which means, honestly, you should cry over them too. It's not hard with how frickin' emotional the storytelling is. So make sure you're following us at the Portent Kast on Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok so you can cry just like I did, just without the drugs. Thank you for reading this, Helen. You're welcome. I love you guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
And without further ado, let's dig into this week's episode of Below the Grove. The Fortunes Favored had delved in the depths of the Laval Institute of Sorcery to find Princess Rosalind and Maristella, Valencia's mother. The party had split to look for both of their quarries and had been met with terrible fights. Kieran, Otto, and Lorelai faced a hag in a round of combat before she had disappeared. They eventually made their way into her office and found that with her disappearance, she had also taken Rosalind with her, but they were able to find some information on the rite they were to perform to kill Maveth, as well as one of the items they would need to perform it hidden in her office. The other group, however, had infiltrated the basement where Sakura once practiced hemomancy and were faced with Valencia and Kieran's captor and torturer, Miss Piedmont. A long fight ensued in which Piedmont was overtaking them before Valencia had called upon Malachar, the archdevil she had made a deal with once before, and in doing so had made a pact with him for his aid in battle. After a few more moments, Piedmont and the hag downstairs were slain, and Valencia had realized the blast from her previous fireball had erupted into the cage in the room and had killed her mother. She rushed to her side and once again, extending her deal with Malachar, raised her mother from death. This was a somber reunion that was quickly halted short as the group had to make their way back out of the Institute without getting caught or killed by the coven of hags that ran it. We pick up as the group has made a quick pit stop into Rot and Temerity's home to ask for their aid in killing Maveth. So, fortune's favored. What do you do?
I think Erebus just kind of looks around and goes, okay, so we know that potentially the shield that we're looking for is in the Battenmont's castle or just area. So do we want to head there? But we're gonna need a plan for sure with that, because they're pretty dangerous. Yeah. So what do we want to do? What's our plan?
Rot and Temerity are still there, correct?
Yeah, they're still there. You guys are still in their home unless you guys have decided to leave.
I don't think yet. So I think Otto's gonna like look over briefly to Temerity and go, quick question, Temerity. In terms of the Batmoths are vampires. Oh, I think we've already established that. Is there anything that I guess because you're a vampire, any info about I guess being a vampire or what potentially the Batmoths are in terms of vampiric or things that they need? We're trying to figure out like maybe a bargaining chip of sorts.
I'm unsure of what they might need. I could tell you that vampires do not like the sun. You could potentially stake them with a wooden stake, and that would essentially put them into a coma.
Okay, it wouldn't outright kill them?
No.
Okay, good.
So if you needed to, you could prepare stakes, and you came across a vampire and needed to just move away without like getting into a fight with a vampire, because we are fearsome creatures. Could just stake them through the heart, and that would help, at least for a little bit.
That's good. Okay, I think like Otto's like writing this down to remember. That helps. At least we know what to do if we get into a situation. About, I don't think I'm trying to minimize my the killing that's happening within our group, but anyways, but yeah, we could go there, or like looking at the rest of the group, we could go straight there, or I do know that I did send a missive to my sister if we need to return to Ozan for whatever reason.
Valencia is going to glance at her mom, and then is going to telepathically say to Otto of the Battenmonts, if I'm remembering correctly, were one of the people who wanted the Elolan essence. For what if we either played like we were going to give it to them, or something along the lines of giving them a fake one or something like that, so it can buy us some time so that focused on us, and then it might be able to have us get close enough to get to the shield if we ever find it.
That is, and you mean the essence that we already have, like the file of it. Yeah, that's something. That is a bargaining chip we could use. Speaking of, I don't really want your mom to come into the fight. I'm gonna.
I don't either.
I just, I don't know how your family works if that's what you wanted, but
the only home that I was in was infiltrated by the cult. I don't want her to put herself in any more danger, than she already has trying to raise me, but I also don't know where she can go.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure my sister would at least be willing to give your mother refuge briefly. I don't, or for a while. I don't know. Erebus'
Well, my
sister is already there, so
yeah, my
think
sister's already
option.
seeking refuge there. And I know the situations are different. I understand that, but I'm sure that she may be willing to let your mother stay. And we do have to do more research on the other items. And Ozan does have that library that you all had gone to.
And I need to go back there anyway. They're studying Eladrin. I said that if I was able to, I would help.
So we stop at. Well, you might want to double check with your mom, and then we can go to Ozan to do all the research and to make your mom safe before we go into probably more dangerous waters by going in a vampire area.
I just realized how much of this is telepathic.
I think at the beginning it was.
I think at the beginning
I
it was,
assumed
but
you were saying all of this telepathically, and then I realized
What,
the Erebus had
Yeah, the Erebus joined in. I was like,
joined in.
oh,
I was
no.
like,
That's on me.
No, that's
For
so
some reason,
funny.
I thought
You're
you were
good.
talking.
it's okay. I feel
No,
like
Otto just forgot.
narratively, I think it's just you guys started talking telepathically, and you just started saying words out of your mouth.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think Otto like forgot that like you just have to think it, and then just started like slowly talking aloud.
Yeah, I think Valencia like slowly realizes because it's like, oh yeah, we should talk to your mom, and then she's like, yeah, and like in her head, she's like, yeah, our creed is secret. Your lips are moving. You're talking, and she's just slowly like,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not used to the mind talking. That
neither
was
am I.
new. I apologize. I look at Valencia's mom. I'm gonna let your daughter handle that. I'm so sorry.
I thought we were just talking. My bad.
No, that's
What is
on
going
me.
on? I'm so confused.
Me too.
You can talk in people's minds now?
I learned it. Hemont put something behind my neck,
Yes.
and it lets me talk to other people. I'm trying to use it.
I have
No,
the
because-
same thing. I cannot talk in people's minds.
Really?
Really. But let's figure out what you guys are doing next. You guys are going to go kill vampires? What?
Kill is a strong word.
We're gonna try not to do that.
You're going to
Yeah.
steal
We're just gonna put them in a coma.
vampires and put them into comas, yes.
Maybe I think we're playing it by ear.
This is a question for the DM. Last time Erebus was in the Badenmont Castle, they were in the main hall. Was the shield hung up somewhere, or did they have it hidden?
Make a history check for me.
I can do that.
Yeah, because you're the
Like
only
literally
PC
at
to have ever
front
been in the
entrance.
Badenmont Castle.
It's so good, guys. It's great.
Hanging above a fireplace. You looked at it
17.
many times.
What was it? Sorry?
17.
You don't remember seeing it in the main hall. That was the only place that you'd ever really been in. You'd assume either it's in some other part of the castle or it is hidden away in some sort of vault.
Okay. Erebus is like, well, the other thing is we're going to have to be very strategic because last time I was in the Badenmont Castle, I didn't see the shield, which means they were probably hiding it, which if it's this powerful of, an artifact, then that would make sense. But I have no clue where it is.
We do the king, one of the king's guards, I believe, is from the Batenmont family and has been mentioned to me. I could possibly ask him. I
Would
suddenly can't remember. I think it was a dude. Yeah. I could possibly ask him as well.
With him, since he's from the Battlemont family, are we sure that if we ask him, his loyalties will lie where we want them? I'm scared he might go
That
to
is
the...
true. I can try and be more subtle about it. I also do. I mean, I can always ask. Sorry, I'm forgetting the freaking new king's name. It's Idris, right? Okay. I can always ask Idris if he's a reliable source. I'm pretty sure, from what I've been told from my sister, he's, always been part of the King's Guard or the Prince's Guard or whatever at the time.
You can never be too careful, so...
Yes, I will try to not give anything away, but I also think you can at least ask general questions about the area.
That's probably a good idea.
So to Ozan, right? Okay. Before fully leaving, I did want to check with Rot. I can't remember if we did this or not. But with Rot and Temerity of asking them if there's a better way to contact them if we needed to. I know we technically Socorro has sending, so maybe that is the best way, but I wanted to double check with them since they're kind of in a cave secluded.
The best way probably would be sending. Otherwise, you guys don't have a druid, so you can't do animal messenger, but yeah, sending would probably be the best way to contact them. They don't have any magical items that you could speak to them through or anything like that.
Okay. I just wanted a double check in case we didn't have Socorro for whatever reason. Not jinxing it, I knock on wood, but yeah. Alright, that's all I wanted to do before we left.
Okay. You guys head back out. Rot and Temerity give a farewell before you guys head back to Ozan. Are you guys going back to Colfeld to take the train up, or are you guys just walking that way?
We're being followed, correct, still? By the vultures?
Well, make a perception check.
Oh, okay. Shit. 11? Yeah.
You don't see any vultures following you.
I guess the world's our oyster then. I look at everybody else and go, did we have a preference on traveling? We have the train or walking?
Train, you guys would probably get to Ozan in a few hours. If you guys walked, it would take until probably the next dawn or half of day.
Mm-hmm.
It might also be better to walk because of Maristella. She is getting better, but walking a day's journey is probably not going to be the best idea for her.
You mean going to the train?
Or walking all the way to Ozan, because Ozan is a day's journey. So she is recovering a little bit, but I don't think that might be the best idea for her, or it might slow us down a little bit, as horrible as it sounds. I feel so bad.
Damn, get after your own mom like that.
I love her. I want to protect her. I don't want her walking for a day. She could get hurt.
So the train would probably be the best option.
Okay. Sounds good. Train it is.
Okay, you guys head back to Colfell. Are you guys heading to the train station there sneakily, or what are you doing?
I think we should.
What's the plan, guys? Or is Erebus just gonna...
I think it would...
himself.
He's sneaking.
Kevin,
The question is now, do we see him sneaking, or do we just turn and he's gone? The
Make a stealth check for me, Erebus.
Sure. I rolled a nat 20.
You turn away and he's gone.
God.
He like says a sentence and then we're like, oh yeah, asks him a question. He doesn't answer. We're like, oh.
Yeah, you guys are beginning to walk as you guys are like walking towards the train station in Colefell. You guys are probably going up to go buy your tickets, and you're like, yeah, we need this many tickets, and to realize Erebus is not with you guys. Erebus, you're on the train somewhere now. You snuck on.
I was gonna just sneak my way to the train station. I wasn't gonna like sneak onto the train.
Okay.
He just didn't want to get in trouble with the law in Colefeld because we have a reputation. So he was just kind of sneaking until we got to the train station.
Okay, yeah.
We re-look and Erebus is there again.
Yeah, you guys purchased your tickets for the train, and then as you guys are walking back, Erebus has just joined in with you guys.
Where did you go?
I was just being sneaky. I didn't actually go anywhere.
Okay.
As someone
Yeah.
who specializes in sneaking, I am genuinely impressed.
Yeah.
That means a lot coming from you. But no, I was just trying to be stealthy. That's it.
You did a very good job.
It worked very well.
That is fair.
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Okay, you guys get on the train, and you guys go north to Ozan, getting there in a few hours, unless there's anything you guys want to discuss while on the train. Okay, if nobody has anything to discuss, you guys arrive in Ozan. City is still on lockdown, but with your previous royal decree, you guys are allowed passage up to the castle. You guys get to the Dreadmore Keep, and Aurelian kind of greets you guys as you guys are entering. Yeah, what do you guys do?
I think just giving the full update, because I think I only gave like a half update the previous time to Aurelian, so giving the full one this time. And then I think briefly I'm gonna look at Valencia and be like,
She
I don't
does
know
it.
how yeah, like Otto doesn't know another way to like
Otto's just like in front of everyone.
And just ask, Valencia, did you confirm whether your mom wants to be in the castle or not?
This is me as a player. This is not Valencia. She would have thought about that, but
I was like waiting. I was like, are you gonna ask your mom if she wants to be here? And I'm not gonna force her. Flashback.
Can we Blades in the Dark flashback to the train? I'm so sorry. I'm in a mood today.
I'll say you can telepathically ask her as you are in the castle. If you want.
Okay. Oh god. So I feel like it's like as they're like walking up to the castle. She puts this pretty early. Not early enough though. So she's like, she takes her mom's hand and she's like, Mom?
Yes. Starlight?
This was one of the last things that I wanted to say to you. As like an update thing, I guess, we, as far as I know, we don't have a home. And I know that that hurts for you to go through something like that again. And I want to try my best to make sure that you're safe. We do jobs for the royal family, and Otto is actually close with them. You have a place there. Should you want to take it?
Okay. Home is wherever you are. As much as I want to go back tomorrow, you obviously have responsibilities here that I'm not going to rip you away from. So you do what you need to do, and I will live in a castle for a little bit.
I stayed there for a few months. It's pretty nice. Otto got me to try some very nice bedding.
I'm glad.
I think you like it.
I just want you to be safe.
And I want the same for you.
Okay, you guys are back in the main hall.
Did you ask your mom permission for her to be here? Okay.
Yes, she's okay with it. I did tell her about the bedding. I don't know if that was a selling point or not.
I'll make sure she has just as luxurious choices to choose from. So back in Ottawa now, like after like basically staring at Valencia, go to like look at her sister and go, so we have found Valencia's mother, and we were wondering if, similar to Reika, if she could find, refuge here for however long she needs. Just she's not exactly hunted in a sense, so like needs some safety.
Of course. Of course your mother can stay with us. Not an issue.
Thank you.
What do you mean she's hunted in a sense?
Like, people want her elegantness.
I love you, Otto, but that doesn't explain anything.
You know what? I don't know too much about it myself.
So are you requesting a guard for her? Is that what you're trying to get at? Because I can procure that for her as well.
I look at Valencia. Does your mom want a guard?
If she's being hunted, I will give her a guard.
No, it's as far as I know, the person doing the hunting is dead. But
as far as you know,
it's a long story. If she wants a guard, if you wouldn't mind providing her with one, that would be amazing. I want her personally to have a guard, but also
I will give
she
her
is my
guards
mother,
that
and
she
I
is
would
safe.
I would ask her for 100 guards for her.
She'll have 2 guards posted out in front of her room at all times, and guards following, so that no one hurts her.
Would that be okay with you, or do you feel like that's too much? It's your safety after all.
She is a queen. I will listen to her.
Okay.
She has more power than you or I, so I will listen to the queen. If she wishes to give me guards, she can give me guards.
If that's what you want.
Yes, is what I'm saying. Yes, I will listen to the queen, and if she wishes to give me guards, she can give me guards.
Okay.
She's like stressed. She's like stressed out because she's in front of a queen.
Valencia's like thinking to herself, she's like, should I be more stressed?
No. That's just my sister. Whatever.
To you! To you, that's your sister.
Yeah, that's how Otto would react. Cool. And then I think
Otto, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, fucking what? Excuse me? How did I also... Right, oh my god, I did a 4 again. But my dexterity is pretty well. It's 11 again.
Okay, as you're like beginning to try to talk again, you can feel something like pelt your head, and now you're covered in like blue chalk. As you look back and you see the twins just like laughing.
I might have forgotten that they live here now.
As soon as they spot you, they like and they run away.
I think Otto's just like, you know, like that impact thing of like, and then like looks at them and looks back and just kind of like defeatedly is just going to exist with blue chalk on them for right now, and continue to just talk. Go. Okay, so anyways,
Do you want to get cleaned up?
I'm
Is that a normal
anticipating-
occurrence?
With the twins, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and I'm anticipating
know.
another one, so I feel like if I get cleaned up and then just get pelted again, I might get stuck in an endless loop.
So you're just gonna be covered in blue chalk until you leave the castle?
Just right now,
Okay.
it's fine. I like try to like shake as much as I can off.
You can see that there's like a servant just like with a broom just waiting.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I know you wanted to do your job. One sec. Aurelian, you had mentioned before that there was about Battlemont in the guards. Could you pass along that I need to speak to him at some point?
Of course, yeah, he's should be up with Idris. He's part of the King's Guard, so should be guarding him at this moment.
Yeah, just whenever he has a moment, I would love to speak to him.
Yeah.
And then I like look at everybody. Unless there's anything else we need to update, I think we're just going to rest and do some research in the libraries for now.
You all, I'm actually probably going to speak with my sister. If you all want to head to the library, I can either meet you there or meet up with you when you get back.
Yeah, that sounds perfectly fine.
Okay. Erebus, you find out from Aurelian that Rika has kind of just been spending most of her days in the garden, kind of doing whatever. But you go and you find her out there. It is, since it's beginning to get into like the very cold Drazen months, she's very, very wrapped up, but doesn't need too much. But is like just there sitting on one of the benches, just eating something. And reading a book as well.
Erebus probably just comes over, and she doesn't notice him, he like lightly tap her shoulder.
Oh, hi. You're back.
I am. What are you reading?
Poetry.
Poetry. Oh, I should have known. What type of poetry?
Stuff similar to like love sonnets.
I see. Nice. I still have the book. And he grabs that you gave me, but that's the only one. I didn't pick any new thing up.
You should.
I should. Yeah. It would have been very helpful for a few things. But don't worry about it. That's not what I came here to talk about. I wanted to let you know something, but it can be a little bit, I don't know. We, for a few things, going along with Lorelai's situation, place this just so happens to be the Batten. And because we're going there, I want to know if there's anything that you want me to find or pick up or anything. I didn't want to not tell you and then miss an opportunity if there's something that you need.
And you can see like there's tears starting to form as she didn't realize this was a conversation she was going to have with you.
Yeah.
If you could find anything of Marcella's, that would be great. Maybe even of like a small portrait of her, if you can.
Of course. Yeah, I didn't want to leave, not tell you, and then you not get that. And he kind of like offers a hug if she wants one.
Yeah, she quickly just grabs and it's like she's crying into your chest.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so sorry to bring this up with you now while you're still grieving, but...
No, thank you.
Of course. I'd do anything to help you right now. And if that will help at all.
It will help having something of hers because we lost all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know to react to the Batten Mons. I'm going to be as respectful as I can. I'm not looking for a fight. That's not our purpose there. But I just wanted you to be aware. I'm not trying to repeat our father's mistakes here.
Just be safe.
I will. We're planning ahead. We're going to try to leave there without as many issues or anything else. But I will grab those things for you. Have a look. I'm going to try to stay a little bit away from where the heads of the family will be. Just because I don't think it would go very well for them to see me.
And you can see as she kind of like releases herself from the hug. She's like, be careful when going into the basement.
Okay. Can I know what's going on in the basement? You can tell me.
Marcella didn't say much, but she said that I think her grandpa is down there.
Okay.
And he's like, I think he's one of like the first vampires.
Okay. I'm guessing they have him locked away for a reason, or...
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know if Marcella knew, but be careful.
Okay. I'll warn my friends to stay away from the basement if all possible. Is there anything else that Marcella might have told you that might be beneficial when, like, trying to get in and out safely? I know she had left.
She didn't talk about how she had left. I know that she had a friend on the docks there that helped her get across the channel, but that was it.
Okay. Yeah, did she give a name?
I can't remember it right now, but I can try before you guys go.
Yeah, don't push yourself if it's too much right now. I just thought I'd ask just in case. If it's too much, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I love you and we'll be careful. I promise.
Love you too.
You want to go inside or do you want me to leave you to your poetry?
I think I'm gonna go visit her.
You want me to come with or do you want to go alone?
I think I'll go alone.
Okay.
And she gets one more last hug before kind of heading off towards where the cemetery is.
Yeah, and he'll probably head back to the castle to wait out for everyone.
Okay. What has everybody else been doing during this time?
Going to the library.
Okay.
Looking at books.
Doing the big boy research.
Okay, is everybody going? Valencia and Otto too?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. You guys go in, and there's obviously there's a library attendant there that will help get books down, whatever. Sees Otto is covered in chalk and tells them to get out.
Yeah, I forgot immediately.
Valencia uses prestidigitation, but it only does I guess from your head to your neck or something. It's only a cubic foot.
You do it
She,
multiple times.
She does it so quick.
And yeah, Otto was fully saw the librarian was no, and immediately turned around and started walking away, and then looks down and is oh wait, I'm clean now.
As you say that, you get pelted with another one.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna
and
happen.
it's a bright yellow chalk. It's just you're coughing it up now.
At this point, I abandon our library mission and begin to chase after my younger siblings.
Okay, this is a chase. We'll just go ahead, make a dex, just a dex check.
Ooh, okay. Dirty 20.
You see as Hylan, kind of trips her brother, so he falls on the ground and she's just running as you get your little brother. It's and she's just laughing as you catch up to your brother on the ground.
Yeah, I think Otto was gonna grab one of them no matter what, and then picks him up. Just I kind of feel bad now. She fully tripped you.
Yeah, and he pelts you with another one in your face, and it just explodes on the both of you.
I hug him so it gets all over him too. That kind of obnoxious of trying to smear it all over. I'm gonna have to be covered in chalk. You're gonna have to be covered in chalk.
That's okay.
Do you want to get her back for tripping you?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
You guys chase each other around the castle, making a mess, and he hands you 3 little bags of chalk that are colored, the different colors, and you guys just make a mess of chalk, just throwing it at each other. There's just lines of chalk being just
yeah,
as you are running after Hylan.
I think there's 2 parts of Otto is immediately oh, we're gonna get in so much trouble, but has been under so much stress and pressure of having to be responsible and in charge kind of, that this is just bringing them back to being home and being around family again. So just is fully letting it go, completely forgets that they're supposed to be doing stuff in the library and helping. We're just gonna
just roll me a d20 for me, Otto.
But I don't like that you're making me roll. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
That's a nat 20.
You go and you throw one of the chalk bags, and it explodes, and then you see your mother's head poke out of the door that it exploded next to. Otto.
I immediately point at the twins.
Make a deception check.
Oh god.
Against your mother, who has advantage on everything against you.
Deception, where are you? That's just a 10.
She got a natural 20, so...
Fuck!
Really? The twins?
They did start it!
All 3 of you are gonna help clean this up.
Okay. But they're also helping, yes? It's not just me.
I said the 3 of you.
I know, but sometimes they wriggle out of the scenarios and then it ends up just being me, and I'm just double checking.
No, if they do, I'll have Aurelian send them to the catacombs for 2 hours. So that they, I don't know, learn their lesson.
Okay. Yeah, I think Otto would just immediately would making sure the twins are going first kind of thing, of being trying to find a servant or a worker who's got cleaning stuff for us.
Yeah, there has been one that's just been kind of following you guys around, just cleaning up as she can go, as you guys go.
Oh yeah, Otto's let me help, I'm so sorry, got ahead of myself.
Thank you. It's just God, I don't have to clean this up anymore.
I don't know. I'll take the L on this one. It was technically my instigating that started it.
Yeah, but you continue to clean up as the twins also help because your mother is watching them like a hawk as they do because she knows they like to wriggle out of their chores. But eventually get it done. It takes literally the rest of the day to clean everything up off of everything.
Shit.
With the amount of chalk that they had procured.
Fair.
But yeah, that happens. What are the other three doing while Erebus is still talking to his sister? What are you researching in the library?
Researching the not materials, the sword and the shield that we still need to get.
Okay.
And see if there's any information on that.
Okay. Someone make a investigation check if you for the shield, and someone make one for the sword.
Is it investigation?
That was a nat 20 plus...
And
No, 5, sorry. Plus 5, 25.
And which one were you looking for?
The sword.
Okay. And what were the other two? What were you looking for? Or what was your rolls?
I got an 18 plus 5, so 23.
Okay.
For the... You said you were looking at the sword, so the shield, I guess?
I got a 19, and I think Valencia will just look for, like, anything relating to Maveth. Of, like, any kind of, like, legends or anything.
Okay.
That she can find.
Okay. Let me just real quick pull up Maveth information. Okay. I will start with Valencia. You find out a lot about Maveth himself. Obviously, the deity of death, and is considered to be the beginning and end of Aramel, and to all of the souls that live upon it. Maveth's faith has always been taboo, as many people believe he only wishes to bring death to the world, though many of their followers actually believe the opposite, that death is part of a life cycle in order for souls to be reborn. Maveth works closely with the one of the other second gods, Delil, as Delil is almost acts as like a ferryman for Maveth, and bringing lost souls to the plane of death, basically. Said to be very powerful, and close in power to one of the first gods, Eruk, which is considered the most powerful being in Aramel history. And you were looking for what specifically? Any other information specific to Maveth?
Anything about a sword and a shield, if it will help. I don't think she'll find anything relating to that, because I think it's more of like someone else's sword and shield. But she's just like, while I'm reading, while I'm doing a little perusing, let me check.
You don't find anything in the specific tome about the sword and the shield, but you do find that Maveth was supposedly and has been theorized to have been born into power after the death of the first Elder being from the Elder Wars, before life on Aramel existed, or believed to have been existed. And basically anywhere that there has been like very large amounts of death has always been theorized to him having some sort of hand in it. So that goes with the Purians, the Titan Wars, the Ageless Wars of Elderos, which happened before the Purians, and as Elderos itself had begun to be like a nation. Any sort of thing like that has always been theorized that Maveth has always dealt a very heavy hand in those events. Kieran, you rolled a 23 for the Aegis of Dawn, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will say, with combination with Lorelei, you guys do learn that these are not relics of divinity, but they were items created by the gods. Should something be needed to take down darkness within the world, they weren't specifically made to kill Maveth, but will be helpful in aiding in that. The Aegis of Dawn specifically is a very large, heavy shield made of god steel and gold, and has been said to be infused with the radiant energy of the sun or Leora herself, which is the goddess of light and protection. And it is said to have once been wielded by a celestial angel, both the shield and the sword itself. And I'll also say with that, you also learn that the heart of Luminera, the gemstone you guys have gotten, is supposed to have been the heart of that angel. Lorelei, for Lumina, is a large, long sword that you learn, again, was supposed to have been wielded by Luminera, the celestial angel who had wielded the shield as well. You do find information about that this angel had been killed in the Aegis Wars, and the sword itself was once in the vaults of the Dreadmore Keep, but has been said to have been lost to time. I'll say at this point, Erebus, you come in and you see there is chalk everywhere in the castle. You can see Otto and the twins are just running about throwing chalk at each other.
Looks like they're having fun.
Yeah, and you eventually make your way into the library, where the librarian basically like makes you wipe off your feet because they're covered in chalk before allowing you in to preserve the books.
He willingly wipes his feet. He's
Yeah.
like, they're funnier than I thought.
Yeah, but then you do see the other three, or Sakura as well, is also kind of researching there.
I think before he goes over to say hello to the group, he will like wave and then he'll try to find any information on the Battenmont family themselves. So if we can get any like idea on what the structures are like of the castle, like anything that could benefit us while we're there.
Okay, go ahead and make an investigation check on that.
Will do. Sorry, my thing's very small.
No, you're good.
Investigation is +0, so that is a 16.
Okay, you do find information on the Battenmons themselves. They originated from the first elves of Aramil that had left Eokrath to explore the world, and had settled on what is now known as Elderos. You learn that Alistair, which is the first Battenmont, had lived in a seaside cave on the coast of Elderos, which would be kind of down here on the map, closer to where the compass rose is.
Okay.
And was said to have been able to control the bats that lived within the cave. But he had eventually built the castle there, on top of the cave, and it said that there is ways into the castle through that cave.
Okay, that's very helpful. And from Erebus's personal information, but I don't know if I know them. Is there any information about the head of the family now? Like, I can't remember their names.
Duke Marcellus Battenmont is Alistair's great-grandchild, and married a woman named Opal from a noble family in Erismere, which is this desert continent here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking through the document. And they had 3 children, Elijah, Alden, and Maricela. It is written here that Elijah is going to become head of household, and is promised to marry one of the De Luna Ricta professors. Alden is a Kingsguard in Ozan, and that Marcella is still too young to have been promised to anyone.
Does it say which professor, or does it just say a De Luna Ricta professor?
Let me look here, see which one it would be. It would be Ferox De Luna Ricta, which is the evocation professor.
Okay. And I'm guessing Erebus wouldn't have any, wouldn't interact with him very often, if at all, in a positive light, in the past.
With Elijah?
Yeah.
No. He was very much similar to his father, in the way that he kept the bad blood between the Battenmonts and the Blethens very, very real.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I think that's all that Erebus is doing, and he'll write all of that down, and then just kind of keep reading.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone would like to do for the day? Okay. There's nothing else anyone would like to do. You guys eventually go to bed. Valencia. You get a knock on your door.
I feel like at this, she kind of like she has an idea in her head of who it is, so she very eagerly goes and she opens it.
You open a door and you see Reika, who you have been exchanging letters with for the past few days. Hi.
Hi. I know Erebus wanted to go and talk to you. I didn't want to interrupt anything.
Yeah.
Should I like to come in, or?
Sure. And she comes in and yeah, just seems to want to like chat and get to know you better as a friend, because you can only say so much in a letter. But if there's anything you'd like to ask of her or anything, you're more than welcome to.
I feel like because Valencia hasn't written a response, so she definitely like tells Reika like her response to the letter. But with what she specifically like wants to ask Reika, she's like, weird question. What's it like having siblings?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like mine and Erebus's relationship is a little bit different than I would say to Otto and her siblings.
It seems like it.
they're more so pranksters, but I feel like that's because there are more of them. I don't know. Erebus is a little bit older than me, so he took on his duties to become Duke very seriously. And I kind of was raised to be a lady of sorts, kind of like my mom. So know, but we had a really good relationship. It was good to lean on each other when we needed it. Why do you ask?
Just curious. Back home, I didn't have any siblings. I had 2 friends that were close to my age, and those are probably the people that I would assume, like I would say, were my siblings growing up. One ended up dying, and I haven't heard anything from the other, and sometimes I get kind of curious as to if she's okay.
I'm very sorry about your friend and the fact that you haven't been able to reach out to your other friend.
The best I can hope is that she's okay.
Yeah,
And even though it's been a long time since I've seen her, so my best bet is that she probably went on and had a good life.
What was her name?
Dahlia.
Do you know her last name?
Einar, I believe.
Okay, I will. Since you guys have big missions and stuff, maybe I'll try to see if I can find out what happened.
If you can, that would be amazing, but I'm not forcing you to or anything.
No, I want to. We're friends. So.
Thank you. It's been a long time since I made a new friend. What do I ask her? Can you tell I'm autistic? She asks stuff. She like at some point she definitely is like, you said you wanted to travel Ermel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was what Marcella and I were wanting to do.
Are there any specific like sites you'd want to see, or?
Well, I want to see Morrow at some point. I've heard it's very, very beautiful. I also want to see the Dragons of Wyvress. I feel like that would be fun. There's supposed to be like almost like a statue of one of the Titans in Amanora that I really want to go see.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, there's really cool places all across Aramel that I just want to see. I want to see everything.
So do I. I never thought much as a child, and if Kieran will have any end of it, then she will take me to see every end of the world if she wanted to, if she could.
Maybe we can all travel together at some point after everything's died down a little bit.
That would actually be a really nice idea.
You guys talk for the rest of the night until eventually you guys get too tired. And she eventually goes back to her room. You learn a lot about Reika and what it was like living with Erebus. You get some fun little stories here and there.
I get blackmail? I won't use it, but I get blackmail?
A little bit. You get a little bit. Yeah, you get to know Reika a little bit more and her passions and things. Yeah. Anything else anyone would like to do tonight?
Can Erebus do something? Yeah, he's going to knock on Lorelai's door.
Heck yeah. he sits up and she's just like tries to think of who it might be, and she just goes and she like opens the door and she smiles at Erebus.
Like he was about to knock and he's like, "Did I wake you?"
Oh no, I was just laying down. I've I wasn't probably going to go to sleep anytime soon. I totally didn't hear a single word you just said.
Yeah, your mic's cutting in and out a little bit.
Right, bad.
He goes, may I come in?
Oh yes, of course. And she like steps aside and like ushers him in.
Like fidgeting with his bag a little bit. One second. And he goes into his bag and he's like, oops.
You're cutting out so much.
Oh, what should I do?
Are your headphones are they like dying or?
Yeah, they are dying.
Oh no!
Do you have another pair of some sort that you could use or no?
Broke, and so I'm using my roommates.
Just
Maybe just like leave real quick, see if that like resets.
yeah, try that.
Okay. Stay back.
A smooch for Valentine's Day, perhaps?
Hopefully.
Technology is not letting it happen.
Technology said no.
You said no. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I would just make sure you're pronunciating and maybe talking a little bit louder just so it catches it.
Okay. But he goes into his bag and he's like, I have written my response. You don't have to read it right now if you don't want to. But with everything going on, I don't know when I would get the chance to give it to you. And he
Of course.
hands it to her.
Of course I can read it now if you want me to.
He's like trying not to get flustered. It's up to you.
I'm going to read it.
Let me. Okay, I just sent it. And he's like he's like standing there awkwardly, exactly knowing what to do.
It's so cute. I love it so much.
Send it to me too so I can know.
Okay. Kind of waiting.
That was so cute though. She's definitely like probably doing what I was doing while reading it, just like happy noises. And she's definitely like has some tears in her eyes. She's like, it was really lovely.
Oh, okay. I was concerned for a second.
Oh, it was so good.
I'm with words. It's not my strong suit.
It was probably better than the one I sent anyway.
No, beautiful. It was amazing. That's why I was waiting so long to give this to you because I didn't know if correctly, and then Otto caught me writing it.
That explains. She kind of asked me about you and us in a way. That explains a lot.
Good now. Okay. I'm not surprised. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad she's, excited to be a part of everyone's lives. That makes sense.
She's sweet. She's a good friend.
She really
Expect her to
is.
do that. Not.
I mean, she didn't talk to me about the letter or anything. She just was asking about me and how I feel for you.
Oh. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that she had done that. Well, I guess it's all worked out okay, but I'm glad that you like it. I was so nervous. But
I loved it. I loved it a lot.
yeah, with everything going on, and with all the things with Maveth, and just with all the uncertainty, I didn't want this to be that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, at least I knew you would always be by my side, but it's good to know that it's not just in my head, if that makes sense.
Of course, and I will. I don't know what this is going to entail, but that was going to happen regardless.
Speaking of what I talked with Otto, now that we're in this situation, I'm just gonna kind of get this out because I don't know if we're gonna have this time to ever have this conversation besides now. I've never done this before. I do really like you, Erebus.
Oh,
I really do.
I really like you too, Lorelai. If that isn't obvious. And he does kiss her forehead.
She's bright red and she's like just staring up at him and she just like hugs him tightly.
Yeah, he hugs her back. Was that too much?
No, no.
Yeah.
I've never had a kiss from anyone before, so.
Really?
No.
Well. I'm trying to think of what he would do in this situation.
I mean, if you want to.
Yeah, he would, like, yeah, he would kiss her.
Yes! For Valentine's Day! She's a bright red, but she definitely does what she can to kiss back.
Yeah, because he has to lean down. I keep forgetting that.
Like, holds the back of his neck and like, she's gonna fall.
Yeah, he, like, tries to help lift her up a little bit, forgetting how small, because she is quite a bit shorter. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say and give you that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just really happy and I don't know what to say.
That's completely fair. Like I said, I'm not good with my words, in writing or speaking. But I'm glad it made sense.
It made a lot of sense. I'm so happy you took my words away.
Yeah, he's trying not to get flustered. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to keep you up. I can leave if you would like.
You can stay. I honestly hate being alone.
Yeah, I remember
sharing a room.
Yeah, no, I am too. Especially with how much traveling we've been doing. Having the separate rooms just felt wrong. So.
It did. But you're more than welcome to stay.
Yeah, he will.
And I talk and talk.
Okay. So, with that, you guys eventually head to bed, get some sleep, and awake for the new day. what are you guys doing?
Well, we should probably end for breakfast and then head out. I feel like it'd be a good plan.
Alrighty, you guys head to breakfast. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. See you guys back here in a minute. And welcome back. We pick up as Fortune's Favored has made some revelations between the group. Some relationships have occurred. But it is the next morning. You guys have had breakfast, and you guys are headed off to where?
Are we heading towards the Batten Mounts? I have some information that I can give out once we get closer to our destination. I did some research. I asked around to get a little bit more information on how we can get into the castle without directly going into the castle. So it's up to you all. But Otto, you wanted to talk to somebody before we left?
Yeah, just the Alden was going to ask him, unless you guys found out more than you think we need, I was going to ask him more about his family and whatnot, but
especially because like I don't have a lot of positive.
Oh,
sorry, Raven,
yeah. It's like, it sounds like you're underwater.
Yeah. It got like really clear at one point, but now it's like real.
No, you were underwater and then I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know what's going on.
Now it's better.
Yeah.
Question mark. Keep saying things. Just say words.
Hello. How are you all doing today?
Yeah, see, now it's like pitched clear as heck. Perfect.
I think it's gonna be a no headphones day because the headphones I think have issues, and I think that's what's causing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hear us like echoing from you, so I think it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I have bad luck with headphones these past few weeks. But yeah, basically Erebus was just saying, well, any information that we can get before going there, I think would be beneficial, just because like I've gathered a little bit, but I still don't have a lot of knowledge on how the family is themselves, because like most of what I have about them isn't positive, because you know, the fighting between families thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't use that information as like reliable.
Okay, yeah, then I can go find him, or however. Basically I want to know, has everyone told like Otto the information that they've researched? Okay. Just so I can make informed choices. Cool. Yeah, in that case, if there's nothing happening, I guess I'll go and try and find Idris or Alden, or both of them, or however.
Yeah, you would find them both up in the war room. Alden is kind of just like on like the back wall, just observing, while Idris is kind of like making plans with the commander of the Raytheon army and such.
I guess at first, because I said I was going to, I'll try and get Idris's attention for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Idris, sorry, just can I borrow you for like 1 second privately?
Yeah. And he just kind of like nods to the commander, puts down what he had in his hand, and begins kind of walks over to a little more secluded area.
Yeah, I think I was just going to be like, how trustworthy would you say Alden Battenmouth, one of your guards, is?
Very trustworthy. I mean, he saved both mine and Aurelian's life during the assassination attempt, so...
Do you know if he has any... What is his feelings towards his family? Do you know any of that? If not, I will ask him directly.
I don't want to presume, but as far as I'm aware, he is not close with his parents. Or at least his father.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I just wanted to double check. I'm gonna borrow him for like a couple seconds. If that's okay.
What do you need from him?
Just chat.
King's guards aren't supposed to like get in relationships with people if that's what you're trying to aim for.
I mean, I'm sure he's wonderful. I'm sure he's lovely. That's just not.
Okay, sorry, I'm new at this whole sibling thing.
You know,
I literally
actually,
lost my sibling like the night after she was born, so.
Yes. Again, we're trying to get her. Technically, you are doing a good job by asking those questions, but also.
Okay, good. Aurelian's teaching me well then. Cool.
Yeah, she would say that exactly. But I'm also just going to politely step over here now.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I think Anna's just like, I don't know. I don't want to talk to the king about any of that.
I can set you up with someone though if you need me to, cause like I'm the king.
Okay,
okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll stop trying to be your brother-in-law.
No, you can continue. That's fine. It's just not right now.
Okay.
Good Lord, I think Anna's just like, oh my god, and is going to go over to Alden and be like, sorry, I need to speak with you for a moment, if you don't mind.
He doesn't say anything but looks over to Idris and is just like nods as like permission. And he nods and kind of like just walks over. How can I help?
Hi, you're from the Battenmouth family?
Yes.
How would you say, what's your family like currently?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Trying to ease into this. Ooh. That's a 23.
You can see he's like surprised that you're asking about his family. And he doesn't want to like say certain things, but he definitely says it's interesting to say the least.
You can be completely, yeah, you can be completely and totally honest. I'm just trying to feel out what your family is like, as we may be seeing them soon, or...
Oh. Well. Make an insight check.
Okay. 9.
You can tell he's trying not to say something he doesn't want to say. But I'll say you do just pick up ambiently, like he's looking between you and Idris.
Okay. I think Ada's just like, I won't pry if this is really that, if you're not willing to give the information. But I promise you that whatever information you give me will not come back onto you.
It's not that I don't trust you at all with this information, it's just I should probably tell the king before I tell you.
Would you like to speak to both of us?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. We can do that. No worries. And I'm gonna look at Idris and be like, I'm gonna need you again. Over here.
And he's like, got it. And he walks over. Does this need to be a more private conversation? Because I could ask the other commanders to leave.
Alden, yes, no?
He just nods and it's like, and Idris gives a nod to the other ones, and they all walk out of the room before the last one closes the door behind. And kind of Idris kind of ushers you all to kind of just go sit in one of the corners and explain, because he's very confused. He doesn't seem to have ever seen Alden like this at all. Well, Your Highness, I did receive a letter from my Elijah a few weeks back, and he kind of just big sigh before taking out of his pocket the letter and hands it to Idris, and Idris kind of reads through it, and if you want to, you can read over his shoulder as well.
Yeah.
As you read through the letter, you do find that that there is information regarding Opal, which is the Duchess, seemingly has gone into a madness of sorts after learning that Marcella had left home, and that her husband Marcellus wanted to find her and then hang her for treason against their house, and that Opal apparently had killed Marcellus.
The husband?
Yeah, she killed her husband.
Goodness, girl boss. I think Otto's just eyes are widening at the extent of this information. Oh, okay.
When did you receive this letter, Alden? A few weeks ago I had, but I did not know how to bring it up at all. Idris just kind of keeps rereading the letter.
Alden, were you close with, sorry, I'm trying to... Marcella was his sister, correct?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Were you close with Marcella at all?
We were a few years apart, but I loved her, yes. And you can tell ambiently, he doesn't seem to have been told that Marcella has been killed and is lying in the cemetery a few hundred feet away from where he is.
Yes, and I'm trying to Otto and me are both trying to figure out a gentle way to say this. Another question for you, Alden. Did you know of her relations with Reka? I forget the last name. Lethen?
Yes. My mother, the Opal, had written me after Duke Blethen and your friend Erebus had even stormed our castle, wanting reason behind their courting. I wasn't there, but Elijah, Opal, and Marcella were. That had happened. That was a few months after your engagement to the Queen. And he gestures towards Idris. Why do you ask?
Because I have some news for you, and I don't know if I'm the right person to give it, but I feel it's only just that I do in this moment. Your sister, Marcella, was killed. when she and Reika fled. I don't know all the details, but they encountered. Sorry, I'm trying to remember right. Who was it? Saren that was the one who. Do we have confirmation that
No one's asked Reika.
Okay, cool. I figured. I was like, I don't think we asked because she was in a state right after. So yeah, I think I would just be like, I don't know all the details. You were more than welcome to ask Reika later, but please be gentle. I asked. She was killed when they were out in the Whispering Woods at some point, and we found Reika with her body, essentially, or what was left of it.
He kind of just... He takes the news, you see it on his face before he just stoically just like... Thank you for letting me know, Otto. I appreciate that.
Of course. And again, Reika is here if you want to talk to her further. She might have more information that could ease your mind. I only know so much. But... So the Battenmount family is in an interesting state, like you said, currently.
Yes. That means that the only people who are left are myself, my mother, and Elijah. I presume this means our guards are on high alert there. So.
Most likely. Your brother Elijah was to be married or is married to?
It seems that they are betrothed to one another.
Okay.
They have not married yet.
Cool. Your brother Elijah is to be married to a Day of Luna Ricta. Was it a marriage of convenience, love, etc.?
I believe my father had requested a union between the two families.
Okay. Is your brother favorable towards it, or?
He and I were not close. I wanted nothing to do with nobility. That's why I became a Kingsguard.
And you're very good at it, from what I've heard, so maybe it was meant to be. I have, I guess, just one final question. We are trying to seek out a shield that potentially could be in your family's folding. And I described, because I can't exactly remember if we have a description of it or if there's
Yeah,
just
there
like
was a description of it. It is a large ornate shield made of god steel and gold, and has probably similar colorations with like opal almost on the shield itself.
Yeah, I describe it and go, does that do you recall anything like that within your family's possession or something that has been told to you even if you hadn't seen it?
We have a crypt. It reminds me of a shield that was entombed with one of our ancestors.
Perfect. And I believe those are in the caves underneath?
Not in the caves underneath it, no, but crypts below the castle, yes.
I think that is all the information I can ask of you. Thank you for telling us anything. I'm going to leave you to discuss what you need to, or just a process. But again, so sorry for your loss. Thank you.
He just nods, but goes back to standing at the back wall, trying probably to not think.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna like casually like for a second like I was going to leave and then I like stopped for a moment to look at Idris and be like, I might need to give him like the day off or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. But thanks for your help as well, Idris.
Of course, if you need anything.
I'll let you know. But I should go reconvene with everybody for now. Head out. Where I guess everybody else is. I don't know if I was told, but
Presumably they're all eventually gonna meet in like the grand hall or whatever. Like where the throne room is and such. But you guys go there. What do you guys do as Otto meets back up with you guys?
I think like you could see Otto's like presumably a little bit more like emotionally exhausted. Like came back a bit more.
Are you okay? What happened?
I had to break the news of Marcella's passing to Alden. It felt only right that he at least know what has become of his sister. I also told him to seek out Reika if he needs further.
I should probably let her know before we leave that she can be expecting him.
Yes.
But I'm surprised he didn't know.
I will say, you could probably assume, any of you, that Reika had wanted discretion with it, considering she did know that Alden Batmont was here and didn't want him to be considered an accomplice in the treason at all. Because what they did was considered treasons against their houses. And probably had asked Aurelian not to tell him until everything had settled back down with like the war and everything.
Yes, but yeah, let her know ahead of time, just in case he seeks her out. He does seem to be removed from the family's current states, so I don't imagine he has any harm for her or for what we're trying to do. And then I'm gonna like update everybody about the letter. It's essentially that like Opal killed her husband, and it's a little off the rocker right now. And then also that he did know of the shield possibly being in the family crypt, to indicate that like that's a place we might need to look into.
We do need to be careful in that crypt. I was warned by my sister that it is incredibly dangerous. In that area, there is. Did Reika say that it was the grandfather?
Said grandfather, but could have been great grandfather or great. You aren't totally sure. She said grandfather.
Marcella said it was her grandfather, and that he was a very powerful man, vampire. And he was clearly locked away for a reason. So if that's what we're going to, then we need to be extra prepared for something very, very difficult.
Yeah. And I do think that our best, because I know Valencia, you said that maybe we can negotiate with the Essence. I don't know how much luck we're gonna have with what unrest is happening within the family. Might just have to do
yeah, I
differently.
wouldn't be able to be there, obviously. If we were to do that, I don't think bringing me there would go well.
That's fair.
What? There is very clearly like unrest in the family. Would that help, maybe? Because if I were a corrupt noble, and I she's gotten the gist. She's like, if I were a corrupt noble, and I would be able to obtain something to be able to make the people that I need to obey me to be more susceptible to that kind of manipulation, I would probably take the deal. But I'm also not the corrupt noble. So
Lila, what would I know about the way that the Batmounts like interact with their people, or like, you know, that kind of thing?
Do you mean like...
Or like what is their, like, how do the people in that area view them? Because like maybe it's just like they're a noble house, whatever, or maybe it's like these people.
You can make a history check. You could also potentially ask someone within the group.
I wonder who.
Is it like Erebus or somebody? Does anyone? Otto goes. How does everyone feel about the Batmons?
I have, my opinion has changed, at least when it comes to Marcella, but our families have never gotten along. So my perception of them up until this point, up until my sister and everything that happened, not great. They can be very scary individuals, very angry. Yeah.
I guess I'm more trying to figure out like citizen-wise.
Yeah, I wasn't referring to Erebus when I said that. But you're good. You're good.
Okay. Even if I rolled history, I got a freaking like 8. So
yeah, you don't really know how they view the Batmons themselves.
Okay. Yeah, but I think Otto's basically just trying to be like, we might have to do similar to what we've been doing of like infiltrating or like trying to sneak in, that kind of thing, as a first route, unless I think the only worry with like, I think Valencia's idea would be great if it wasn't like we were dealing with people who might go kind of crazy with power, you know, like power hungry-esque stuff.
Question for the DM. Would I be able to make any sort of like nature or history check to see if it's like, oh, this vial of glowing essence, the glow kind of reminds me of something, to see if I'm able to essentially what I want to do is I want to, if possible, make a similar vial of fake essence. But because
you
of
could
the glowing, I'm not sure if I would be able to.
But that would take a while.
Yeah,
because you are not an alchemist.
Nope.
You guys, I will say, you guys still do have like 4 or 5 months until the blood moon. So you guys can spend the time.
Could you possibly contact? You said you knew some people who know about Eladin stuff here in the city.
Yes.
Maybe you can confer with them if you're trying to make something that has the same.
That might actually help. They're more knowledgeable in magic.
Possibly.
Yeah, if that's one of the ways you want to go, that I can do that.
This is also just some information, Otto, to know if we are sneaking in. There are ways in the cave system that's closest to the castle where we can potentially get into the castle that way. It may also lead to where that man is.
I have
The
a feeling
grandfather or whatever.
he's in the crypt. I don't know, so we
Yeah,
might just encounter him no matter
what we tried to do. If we are sneaking in that way, then we might not have a choice, but my sister was very adamant on not going there.
Yeah, I mean, I also don't want to encounter this. If I've been warned of somebody, I usually don't want to be near that person. But it's also we don't know exactly where we're heading into, no matter what. So, but I do think the caves are a good option, especially since we've been doing things like tunnels and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, if Valencia, you are going to the researchers that you have met, I probably will tell my sister that she might be seeing. Can you remind me of his name? Which brother he is?
Alden.
Alden. I will inform her that Alden may stop by. And if you see him and he has any reason to speak with me about the situation, he is free to. You can tell him that, but I won't seek him out just for, just in case.
That's fair.
Yeah, but if you see him again and if he needs more perspectives, he's free to talk to me. I have no issues with that.
Okay. I'll let him know. I do think he'll take some time for this, no matter what. So.
Yeah.
Since other people are making plans to go other places, this stake thing, does it have to be, do we know if it has to be something specific, like specific wood or like a method about it? I don't know.
As far as Temerity told you, it just has to be a piercing weapon made of wood. But you guys can do more research if you would like to. You guys have the time if you guys are going elsewhere. You guys can do more research on vampires and whatnot as well.
Would Erebus have some prior knowledge to when they stormed the castle, or did they just bring what they had?
I would say your father did, and his legion had many like stakes. They had holy water, that sort of thing.
Okay, yeah, he'll make a mental note of that before we leave for there to pick some of that up just in case everything goes bad.
Okay. I'll say if you guys want, if you are going to go pick up holy water or stakes or anything like that, if you guys each want to be equipped with some, let me know how much you want and I'll tell you how much that costs. Or if you're just going into like a holy sanctum and wanting to get blessed water by a priest.
Question for the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Can Kieran deal with holy water?
You don't know. Never interacted with it.
Cool.
But yeah, you guys are going to go get holy water and stakes. You guys can also actually, never mind. None of you are a cleric or paladin, so you can't do a ritual to make it. But it's 25 gold per little vial if you guys are going to go purchase it.
Quickly, somebody multi-class.
I think the only person who could potentially multi-class into either decided to go with a warlock.
Yeah.
Didn't decide to. The dice.
I mean,
did.
I technically have a high enough wisdom to multi-class into cleric.
Yeah, but
she
where
wouldn't.
you don't worship a
Like,
god.
Erebus could be a paladin, but why?
Yeah,
Literally.
exactly.
Sorry, you said Lila, what did you say? Vials?
Each vial is worth 25 gold.
Kieran will buy 4 vials.
Okay. The place you guys have to go to get this stuff is like sanctioned by the Greyvale Monster Hunting Guild.
Uh-oh. Is that the one that we made angry?
I don't wanna.
I'm not going in there. I'm too scared of them. So y'all gotta pick it up for me. I'll pay you back later. I'm not.
Spot me real quick.
Yeah, you guys see like the emblem there of like the two snakes and the shield, and realize, oh, maybe I should go in there, because it's, yeah, but
I'll go get everyone coffee. While you do that, I'll get coffee. I'll get food. I'll be back.
Doing a coffee run? Oh my god.
okay. Erebus,
You're
make an
like, wow, he's
investigation
walking
check
so
for
quick.
me. To go try to find coffee.
Okay.
Erebus is being a sneaky little boy this
It's not even a thing of like, oh, I'll get us coffee. We just walk up to the thing, look, and he's gone.
You said investigation?
Yeah.
That's a 14.
Okay, yeah, you're able to find coffee. You find a cute little place within the district you guys are in. Has a multitude of different coffee shops. But you go and you get coffee for everyone. I'll say it's like a gold to get everyone coffee.
Sure. And I make sure to get Kieran something strong, because I feel like she would like strong coffee. So he
Yes, you're right.
and he makes sure that Valencia's is very sweet, like has whipped cream on top.
Okay. Easy enough
Party
to
dad
do.
coming in clutch.
I love this man.
Yeah, and then he'll wait for you all a little bit away with the coffee.
Yeah. Sakura went with you. Helped you carry all the
Got boys
drinks.
coffee run.
Yeah. Thank you, Sakura.
Just boys being boys.
Yeah.
So the vial was 25. Was the stakes also that? Or?
Steaks, I'll say per steak is 10 gold.
Kieran will also grab 2 steaks.
Okay.
I'll grab 2 of each, because even if I cannot use them, I can give them.
Well, I mean,
was
holy
gonna
water,
say,
it's just a dex. It's like an improvised weapon, so.
Yeah, but like, I also kind of still have to kind of be close. And I don't want to be close.
Steaks
I'm
are
scared of getting
helpful.
hurt.
Erebus would love one of those, if possible.
I'll grab
She will
some
buy-
for- Yeah.
Yeah, she will buy an extra one, so she'll buy 3 steaks and then 2 vials of holy water.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone would like to do in preparation of going to the Batten Months?
This probably would have been later, so after he's given everyone their coffee and stuff, he would tell his sister that one of the Battenmont sons would be stopping by, but that it should be fine. And if you need me to be there, I can be, but I just want to let you know that he could be stopping by to ask a little bit about
That's okay.
the situation.
I think it'll be fine. Marcella really liked Alden, so.
He seems like a good guy. I've seen him around, but just out of respect for him, I've tried to keep my distance.
I'm sure he appreciates it.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to let you know we may be heading out in a little bit. So I'll let you know before we leave, but I just wanted to give you the heads up that we're preparing.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Of course. And he'd leave her be.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone is doing before you guys are leaving, or did you want to wait to do anything?
I want to go to the researchers and
Okay.
see if if I'm able to help them in any way for a little bit, because I'm assuming like everyone's like going around kind of doing their own thing for a little bit. So she can go there and then hopefully maybe see if she can do anything with the fake essence plan.
Okay, they just more so just want to study the abilities you have from being an Elenin, because they have not had the chance to, like, study. They don't do experiments like you have done before. They just ask you to, like, if you have magic, they ask you to show that off, kind of in a way. If you have any
She
other
definitely
abilities.
oh, show your magic. She's like, it might be a good idea to do it like outside. I can't really control my magic, and I don't want to like. And she looks. She's like, a lot of things in here look very expensive, and I do not want to cost you anything.
They agree, and you guys go outside towards like the back alley of the Ethereum tower, and they watch you do your magic, study the things that you do. And eventually you kind of bring up potentially the essence, which they also would like to study. They are willing to buy it off of you if you would like to do that.
It's not that I don't trust them. It's just that I don't trust people. And I feel like she'll convey that in a way because she was like, you seem like amazing people, and I fully want to help you in your research. My relationship with the essence is very weird, and I would need some time to think about it.
Not a worry at all. Not a worry. We don't want to push any boundaries ever. But if you want, we are more than willing to. We could write up a contract and everything about what it can and cannot be used for, how much of it we could use, in the state that, anything like that.
And would you be able to, in studying it, or be able to make something that looks similar? That sounds very shady.
We are not alchemists, unfortunately. I mean, we could potentially reach out to some alchemists and see, but with the war going on, many of them in their efforts are making potions to heal wounded soldiers.
Do you have perhaps any alchemy like books or tools?
Again, we are not alchemists, we are astronomers. We don't have that sort of ability, but I'm sure you could head to an apothecary and they might carry some of those sorts of things.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay.
And then she goes back, marches her happy little way back to the group.
Okay. March your way back to the group. Is there anything that Lorelai you want to do in preparation of going to the Batenmonts?
Not exactly. She doesn't really have anything planned for much. She's just pretty much gonna stick around Erebus and try to make sure he gets what he needs done and help anyone else who needs help.
Okay. They did go to a shop where they bought holy water and stakes. If you would like to buy any of those, holy water is 25 gold per vial and stakes are 10 gold.
Yeah, I'll do the math and see how much I get for that, and I'll let you know.
Not a worry.
And I will just say for next week, since Star isn't here to do it herself right now, that anything Sakura would have wanted from the guild, he could have given the money to Kieran, and Kieran would buy it for him.
Okay. I will keep that in mind, and I'll reach out to Star. Okay, if there's nothing else anyone would like to do as you guys prepare to face the Batenmonts and try to infiltrate to get the Aegis of Dawn, as we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode of the Portent Kast. Thank you all for tuning in to our very special Valentine's episode, and may the dice guide you to beautiful friendships.